Maya Angelou, the American poet and civil rights activist, is quoted as saying, "There is no agony like bearing an untold story inside of you." That is why, in the coming days, I'm going to be telling some stories of former Bob Jones students. And today's story is Jacob Oblack. I have received permission to tell his story and to use his name. Jacob wrote to me, and he told me his story. Jacob attended Bob Jones University from fall 2006 to spring 2008. During this time, he noticed that the students of Bob Jones were quiet and that they didn't want to question anything that they were told. And he decided that he was going to write some papers anonymously. He wrote 4 papers during his time there under the pen name Dante, and these papers were called The Voice of Truth. For a while, Bob Jones didn't know who was publishing them, but eventually they found out. Going home in the spring semester of 2008, Jacob was driving home, and he received a call from the Dean of Men. During this call, the Dean of Men asked him why he had written these papers. He had accused him of trying to, quote, incite a rebellion and, quote, gather a following. The Dean of Men said that people that would read these papers, these people he, quote, couldn't rescue, end quote. During his conversation with the Dean of Men, he asked what rules were broken in the writing of these papers, and the Dean of Men said that there were no rules broken. The conversation progressed, and eventually Jacob, was told that he could not come back to school. He had been there for 2 years, spent his money, earned his credits, and he was told that he couldn't come back. And that was hard for him. In his letter to me, he expressed how hard it was. He was denied re-enrollment, but the Dean of Men said that if he wanted to return, he would have to show, quote, significant change by writing a letter of apology and getting a written pastoral recommendation to return to Bob Jones. Eventually, about a month later, Jacob received a letter from Bob Jones in the mail. That letter said that he was denied re-enrollment for, quote, sowing discord, end quote. Today, Jacob is not allowed back on campus. He can't visit his sister, and during that time, his fiancée was there. That's Jacob's story. I've read the papers that Jacob released. They were short, one-page papers. There was nothing wrong with those papers. They just questioned the status quo. They wanted students to question what we thought. But they did it in a very respectful manner. Under this video, I'm going to post links to the 4 papers, and they're also on DoRightBJU.com on the Facebook page. Decide for yourself. A lot of people are saying that my expulsion on April 24th was deserved. You make your own decision, but in the coming days, I'm going to be telling more and more stories, and I just want people to decide for themselves what they think. Thank you.